Like Thanos, the Kansas City Chiefs are just inevitable. Nobody is going to be able to stop this team from three-peating. I was watching them play the Broncos today, and Bo Nix had the best game of his career up to this point. He was really impressive, and I was telling myself, okay, this is going to be the game Kansas City finally gets the L that they deserve. But some way, somehow, the Broncos find a way to blow it. They get a 35-yard chip shot to give the Chiefs their first L of the season. And of course, Kansas City blocks it, and they find a way to get another lucky win. And at this point, I'm just going to admit what a lot of y'all want to admit, but you're just too stubborn to admit it. Kansas City is going to three-peat this year. Nobody is going to beat this team. After how you won against the Denver Broncos, there's no way in hell anybody's going to stop you this season. Okay, the Ravens, I love Lamar Jackson, but I don't trust their defense to stop Mahomes with the ball in his hands last if he has an opportunity to win the game. The only way Baltimore can take down Kansas City in the postseason is if LaMarvelous gets a chance to win the game and Mahomes has no time left to get the W. And the Houston Texans, they're not a Super Bowl caliber team. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they're not a Super Bowl caliber team to me, only because anytime Mike Tomlin's defense goes up against an elite quarterback, they get carved up every single time. The Buffalo Bills, I don't trust them either. Josh Allen, he's been a little bit reckless with the football as of recently. They played Kansas City great in the regular season, but in the postseason, in the fourth quarter, they just fall apart. And the Detroit Lions, as good as they've been, I don't trust them to beat Kansas City in the Super Bowl. I just can't see anybody stopping Kansas City. There's just something around this team that just makes them impossible to beat. I don't know what it is. Mahomes is playing the worst football of his career, and they still are undefeated. The defense could have an off game and still find a way to win. You thought that against the Buccaneers, they would have been able to get it done. And instead, it goes into overtime. Mahomes gets the ball first, and you already know what happens when that transpires. Kansas City ends up winning. There's nobody who can stop Kansas City this year. And to be quite honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Kansas City win 6 straight Super Bowls, because it just looks like right now there's a huge gap between them and the rest of the NFL. They're playing chess. The rest of the NFL is playing checkers. Everybody's trying to catch up to Kansas City, but they just can't, because you don't have Mahomes. You don't have that championship grit needed late in the fourth quarter to take this team down. You just need to accept that nobody's going to stop Kansas City this year. We might as well just cancel the season and give Kansas City the Super Bowl already. I know that, it's a little bit ignorant to say that, because the game's got to get played and you never know what can happen on any given Sunday. But one thing I know that's not going to happen on any given Sunday is Kansas City losing, especially in the postseason. This team is unstoppable. When Thanos said he was inevitable, Kansas City was right behind them whispering it. They were saying, yeah, Thanos, you may be inevitable, but so are we. We got Mahomes. We got Andy Reid. We got the best defensive coordinator in the NFL. The Chiefs can beat you a multitude of different ways. If you want to play in a 13-10 defensive slugfest, Kansas City can beat you in that kind of game. If you want to get into a 48-42 shootout with Kansas City, they got no problem beating you that way neither. However you want to play Kansas City, whatever style of football you like to play, Kansas City can match you. There just is no stopping this team. They don't really have a weakness. On paper, they have weaknesses. Left tackle is a major concern. It doesn't matter with Kansas City. When you play this team, there just is nothing that you can do to stop them. Now, they play Buffalo this upcoming Sunday. We're going to see if the Bills can give them their first loss of the season, but I'm not very confident it's going to happen. And I wouldn't be shocked if Kansas City ends up going 17-0 and being the first team in NFL history to do so, because right now, It doesn't matter if they play their best or their worst, they still find ways to win. And with how this game ended against the Denver Broncos, it showed me everything that I need to know about how the script has been written for how the season's going to end. The script writers, they're going to try to make it a little bit interesting. They're going to try to add some drama, some flair in there to throw us off a little bit. But we all know Kansas City's going to win this thing when it's all said and done. Nobody's stopping this team. This team has some voodoo magic around them, some dark magic. They got something going on because there's no way anybody could have predicted Denver getting the game-winning field goal blocked. Like, how the hell does that happen? I believe the NFL is somewhat rigged because you cannot have something like that occur in a situation like that without it being somewhat scripted. I know it's a crazy conspiracy, but when it comes to Kansas City, I'm not throwing anything off the table. If you think the refs are rigging these games in favor of Kansas City, I'm not going to say that you're wrong. I may not completely agree with you, but I'm not going to say that you're wrong. It's just that Kansas City, when they got to win the game, they find a way to do so. And now you got DeAndre Hopkins. Imagine how scary this offense is going to look if you get Marquise Brown come playoff time, because he's out for the entirety of the regular season, but he is going to be available come playoff time. And if you get the number 1 seed, you can get him fully healthy for a divisional round. And then you have D-Hop, Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy. Kansas City will be damn near at full strength. There's no stopping this team this year. I don't know what it's going to take. Maybe Lamar Jackson can play a little bit of corner and safety for Baltimore, but just go ahead and chalk up the three-peat to Kansas City already. I don't even think we need to play out the rest of the year. We just need to go ahead and hand over the hardware. Maybe next season the Chargers can step up and Jim Harbaugh can have a little bit of a say in how much dominance the Chiefs are going to continue to have over this league, but you just can't beat Kansas City, man. You just can't. And I'm just tired of lying to myself every week that the Chiefs aren't going to win it all, when every week I watch them play, I find them do the impossible, pull a win out of the ass, and I'm just ready to admit the Chiefs are going to win it all for the 3rd straight time in a row. Shout out to Kate Roan. As always, we greatly appreciate it with the $5 donation. She says, powerful JT Sports Live. Can't believe how hot that Dallas dumpster fire is burning, man. And are the Cardinals good or are the Jets just that awful? She also says, you're not far out there bringing conspiracy to the convo about KC. If you're ever not sure, follow the money. Is what they say too. Yeah, I'm gonna start following the money, all right, because I definitely ain't trying to lose the money betting against KC.